What is going on, guys? This is Ninja here. Today I'm doing the top 5 weapons in video games that are good nowadays that sucked back in the day. What I mean by this is basically that these are weapons that are very good nowadays, they're very handy in that. But however, in the past they were definitely either the trash pile or the most useless weapons in the game. Whether it comes down to terrible in campaign, multiplayer, and many more modes, these weapons are definitely going to be mentioned on the list. But without any further said, let's just get into this. Coming into number 5 spot, we have the G36C from Modern Warfare. I say the Modern Warfare version of the G36C, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad of a weapon, it was very average, but however, the main reason why I put this on the weapon sucks list is because there were way better weapons in Modern Warfare. And even the remaster. I mean, seriously, you have so many better weapons. You had the AK-47, the M4 Carbine, and the list just goes on. Why in your right mind would you pick the G360? Yeah, I know that it has better mobility than the M4 Carbine, but damage rise and fire rate, it's slow. And also the eyesight wasn't as great as the Modern Warfare 3 Modern Warfare 3 version had a terrible one, but at least the damage and ammo in that version was way better than this one. Lucky they gave it the big buff in Modern Warfare 3, because it needed it, because this weapon, it just didn't even serve a place. And it just felt like it was just not even meant to be there. But otherwise, that's really all that I want to say about this weapon. So, anyways, the G36C comes in at number 5. Moving down to number 4 spot, we have the Heavy Pulse Rifle from Soldier 76. This weapon definitely made on the list for a reason. Back in the day, this was terrible. I mean, it was garbage. It took too slow to kill enemies. If I remember, you had to wait until like 10 shots left in the assault rifle just to be able to kill someone. If I remember, it took like in total 20 bullets or 19, and it was just too slow. The only thing that was good at the time for it was the micro missiles, which are still pretty good, and the tactical visor, which is pretty much his aimbot system where he can reload faster but also shoot faster. Actually, no, not shoot faster. He can pretty much just not even have to try aim. You could just literally just move around and just the gun will just aim for you, whatever's in front. But however, otherwise the weapon was just pathetic until they gave it the big buff. But however, it was too overpowered. So then they nerf and buff it, and they still do plenty of times. And yet it's still a pretty good weapon to this day. So if you tend to play Soldier 76, nowadays you can use him, but at the time, it was just a no-go because you had Tracer, Genji, and McCree, which was simply tons better over him. And this was before Zombra and Doomfist weren't there at the time, but otherwise, this weapon at the time was just trash. But anyways, Soldier 76's Heavy Pulse Rifle comes in at the number 4 spot. Coming into number 3 spot, we have the Lancer from Gears of War 1. This weapon made it for a reason on the list, because it was too weak. It had a terrible squeaky sound, which pretty much made me want to cover my ears while firing the gun. And also the chainsaw mechanic at the time was useless before it made this chainsaw battle. Whoever presses B the most and does it fast enough pretty much gets to chainsaw the other person. But however, before that, let me just tell you that in the day, this thing was not the weapon to go to, because it did no damage nearly, and it required nearly a full mag to kill someone. It was way too slow. So back in the day, people were just not bothering using it, and they preferred the shotgun, and plus it was so easy to dodge that pretty much my cat could dodge it. I'm actually just dead serious right there. So yeah, pretty much this weapon was just absolutely trash that they decided to buff it in Gears of War 2, and people started using it. Then Gears of War 3 buffed it even more, and wow, did this weapon become from useless to useful. But however, when I go back to the original Gears of War, I'm like, nope, I'm not playing this game anymore because I keep getting this annoying Lancer that's useless in campaign and useless in multiplayer. But otherwise, that's pretty much what I nailed right there about this weapon. All around useless, and it shows an example of what's too slow killing time in video games. So, anyways, this nearly made a number 2, but there was something that killed even slower. So, anyways, the Lancer from Gears of War 1 comes in at number 3 spot. Coming in to number 2 spot, we have the Needler from Halo 2. This is an example of even more slower fire rate with the wrong weapon. I mean, seriously, the Needler from Halo Combat Evolved, yeah, it was not bad. Halo 2's on the other hand, the second game in the franchise. This is the one I made on the list for a reason. It's too slow, and the killing time is just too slow too. But however, it's more the fire that's just way too slow. And if you dual this thing, it takes way too long to even fire. In fact, the gun itself just requires so much ammo to kill the enemy that I just don't even get it. I mean, luckily in Halo 3 they gave this a big buff, so that way it would be useful for both dual and non-dual, making this thing finally useful again. Sure, and Reach was a little bit nerfed. Then there was 4, which made it amazing. Then there's 5 that's still pretty good for it. But thank God it's nowhere near this bad. But anyways, I'm going to show you a gameplay clip of how bad it is compared to the Halo 3 version. Alright, we are recording the difference between between the Halo 2 and 3 Needlers, and let me tell you, this Needler doesn't have dual, but the Halo 2 one does, but there's definitely a difference. So watch the fire and the kill time. And look at how quick that is. And if I go up closer, let's say, okay, so I'm just going to look at the player 2 screen, or should I say the guest screen, go closer range, and let me tell you, there's definitely a difference. And look at that, that wasn't even half the clip. Anyways, I'll show you guys the Halo 2 version now. Alright, I'm back. And let me tell you, this thing has shorter range, which is really pathetic if you ask me. And look at the slow fire rate. And it required like half of a clip to do so. God, and I'm gonna just test with dual wield, so I'm just gonna cut the clip so that way it doesn't take forever for you guys. Alright, I'm back. And let's just say dual wield fire it burns out of ammo. And yes, I'm aiming. And sure, it may have took less ammo because I had dual. But if I compare this to long range, which, if I can get my character out of, let's say, here, because you know this area is so damn annoying to get out of every single time, let's just say that this is just pathetic. Look at this. Look how slow it is. And even when I was recording that, my god, during the dual version, I was so sick of it that I decided to cut the clip because of how slow it is to kill. And man, let's just say if I was to go in a gunfight between some of dual plasma rifles against me with dual needlers, I'd lose. But let's just say this will always be known as the worst Halo weapon in the franchise for a very good reason. And surprisingly, there's something worse. That's at number 1. So anyways, the Needler Halo 2 version comes in at number 2 spot. Coming in to number 1 spot, we have the SMG from Fortnite Battle Royale. This weapon was definitely removed from the beta for a reason and replaced by the Tactical SMG, which by the way has a similar feeling, but at least it's way more better with damage and range, and the fire rate feels much more balanced than this beta weapon. And this thing was definitely removed for a good reason. Too fast of a fire rate, too pathetically weak as a damage, and only does 10 to 11 damage when everyone has like 100 health, and shield potion, which basically makes them take more hits from dying. So pretty much this makes this weapon so useless that it makes the pistol look like Jesus compared to this thing. In fact, it's so stupid that when they created Tactical SMG, they definitely made sure that they buffed and got its range, because the rest would end up as bad as this. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys what the Tactical SMG looks like, and you'll see what I mean. So the Tactical SMG, the one I have right here, this is basically like the final version of the SMG, if you ask me. They have the same mobility and stuff, and they feel the same, which is pretty much why I made it number one. But what I like about the Tactical SMG on our hands, it fixed all the problems from the beta and just put it together, gave it all the fire rate, the damage, the penetration that it needed, and pretty much fixed all the problems. So yeah, at least they did a pretty good job on it, and now it's actually a pretty useful weapon. Sure, not as much as an assault rifle, the LMGs, but hey, at least it's a pretty good weapon compared to what it was in the beta. But anyways, the SMG comes in at the number one spot. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Until then, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you until my next video.